It's hard to believe we're already into February. It's election day, so I hope everyone had a chance to go out and vote today. I do have the recap of the February board meeting. First of all, under consent agenda, we have bills totaling $10,873,541.09. Also, we have a number of projects that we bid out under the consent agenda. First of all, we are letting bids for the secure entry at Bridger Middle School. We're going to let bids for HVAC and ventilation projects for the auxiliary gym at Nowlin. We're going to let bids for roof replacement at Truman High School. We're going to let bids for the secure entry and storage at Randall Elementary. And then also we're going to let bids for mental health services here in the ISD. Under Superintendents Report, I did give a brief update on the legislative session currently going on. I had a chance to go down to Jeff City and testify on Senate Bill 648. This is the virtual education bill that we as a school district are opposing. I also gave an update on COVID numbers to the Board of Education. I'm very happy to say that on January 21st, we were at 2.59%. That then dropped the next week to 1.68%. And this past Friday, we were at 0.96%. And also our number of cases are reducing this week as well. We did have some snow days last week, so those days will be added on to the end of the schedule. And lastly, I did talk about ESSER 3 funds and that the legislature has until March 24th to appropriate those funds. If they don't do so, those will go back to the federal government. Under new business, we did have a number of items. First of all, we did have a presentation on the bond projects and how those are going. The weather has certainly slowed us down, but overall they continue to go very well. Item number 2 on new business, we have the approval of the FY22 budget amendments. We typically do budget amendments twice a year. We've already done one round the first semester, so therefore we're coming back second semester, and we have budget amendments on grant changes, and this is very typical. As we get new grants in the ISD, we have to create a budget for that. Therefore, we have budget amendments related to the grants. We'll also have budget amendments related to building carryover funds. That way each building can spend the funds that they did not expend last fiscal year. We have professional development carryover funds that we have to account for. And then we have a lot of budget amendment codes related to ESSER 2 funds as well. Item number 3 was the approval of the employment calendar for the 2022-2023 school year. You probably remember that last month we did approve our student calendar. We always come back the following month and approve employment calendars for 10, 11, and 12-month employees. Item number 4 under new business is the approval of Board of Education policy changes. The first one is policy 0412. This changes when requests to address the Board of Education. It changes it from 1 week prior to the board meeting to now the request can come in the Friday prior to the board meeting. Policy 2770, this is in response to state statute changes regarding seclusion and restraint. This is state statute 160-263, and this actually will not go into effect until July 1st of 2022. A couple of the changes include that the term safe room is replaced with seclusion, and also that the reporting to DESE must be done every 30 days. And then lastly, policy 1421. This would now prohibit the placement of election campaign signs on school property. Currently, they have to be at least 25 feet away from the polling place, but moving forward, they could no longer be on district property. Item number 5 under new business is the approval to pay the Microsoft yearly license agreement for fiscal year 22. This is for $126,959.15 through a cooperative, the Education Plus contract. Item 6 was the approval to accept Network Data Solutions. This will cost $38,910 after E-rate funding. If we did not have the E-rate funding, it would have cost $194,550. And this is from Provision Data Solutions. Item number 7 is the approval of the preliminary budget ordering for fiscal year 23. State statute states that we have to have the board appropriate the money for next year before we can spend it during this fiscal year. And what we typically do on that is we look at last year's expenditures, we cut that in half, and then the board approves that so we can go ahead and begin ordering for next school year. This year, that amounts to $9,030,264 for purchase services and $10,557,048 for supplies. Item number 8 was the approval of the Independent School District's Legislative Priority Position Platform for this year. This is something that the Board of Education does every year. They get together and they decide on what legislative items that we want to focus on and have discussions with our local legislators. I'm very grateful for the work that our Board of Education does on this. Once we do have that approved, we send that out to all of our legislators. Item number 9 under new business is the approval to accept a bid for replacement of interior doors, and this will be at Van Horn High School. The winning bidder was Omega Construction for a total of $753,077. Obviously, that's a lot of money for doors. At Van Horn High School, we have 208 total doors. 178 of them are wood doors, but also within those total doors, there are 30 storefront systems. So whenever you think about storefront systems, you see that a lot of times when you walk into doors where it has a full area of glass on the sides of the doors. So that's why this project was so expensive. Item number 10 was the approval to accept the GMP, or Guaranteed Maximum Price, for band and instrumental renovations at Van Horn High School, as well as band, orchestra, and weight room renovations at Pioneer Ridge Middle School. The GMP for this is $3,948,093. And then lastly, and it's the one I'm most excited about, this is the approval of the Early Notice of Intent to Return incentive. What this does, it will provide a $1,000 incentive for individuals who are on the teacher salary guide to return next year. And this does a couple things for us here in the ISD. First of all, it incentivizes our employees to return to us, which is very important, but also it allows us to determine our staffing as early as possible for next year. The information will go out shortly after the board meeting to all individuals who are eligible for this. A contract related to this will go out approximately March 1st, and then individuals will have March 16th as the deadline to sign up for this. Now, if someone does not sign up for that, that does not mean that they can't come back and teach for us next year. It just means they're not eligible for the incentive. So with that, that is your February board report. Again, I always want to thank you for everyone's work. It's been a great school year, even under some unusual and difficult times, and none of that could be possible without all of you. So again, thank you very much and have a great February.